Welcome back everyone. Today we're reading Tumblr because I want to. Having parents who dated people with other kids and then split up is fun because it's like, yes, I'm an only child, but I have some middle child experience. I've dabbled my middle child internship. I could make arguments that I've been the youngest, middle, oldest, and only child. I am the omni child. Having undiagnosed autism as an elementary schooler is like, hi, I love everyone and want everyone to be my friends, yay! And then everyone is really freaking mean to you consistently for reasons you can't begin to comprehend. And then you learn to just not engage and people are still mean to you for reasons you can't fathom. By Jove, as a trans man, so many of the things cis men consider to be emasculating are so freaking funny. You are our gender's weakest soldier. You would take yourself out if you were a trans man for a day. How are you going to tell me I'm not a real man? And then start cheating on your wife because she makes more money than you and it makes you feel emasculated. Your masculinity is as fragile as a champagne glass and you're throwing stones? Oh no. God made me trans because he knew you couldn't handle it. This one is called Goose Horse. Aw, baby. So cute. Much love. Yuri being held to a higher moral standard than Yaoi is preventing me from reading Mafia Boss, Daughter, ex-pathetic lesbian tortured by loan sharks. And that is just such a shame. Don't tell me you've forgotten. I own you. Read that post, blacked out, and woke up with this on my computer. Crazy. Stay safe out there, everyone. Horny's one heck of a drug. A wasp flew out of the recycling bin and brushed against my lip. And yet, I can't stop thinking about him. Who? The wasp? There were other bugs in her life. It's in character. I'm not that surprised. Every encounter with a snake I've had involved someone shouting, "Hey, I found a snake!" Then everyone crowding around to look at the snake, which is probably not the best thing to do when you see a snake, but who can resist the allure of going, ooh, a snake? Most snakes are harmless. Yeah, I live in Australia. You can tell OP doesn't live in Australia. No, Australians are still like this. So, I could be wrong. However, I'm convinced that as Australia sort of evolved to have all these different poisonous and incredibly deadly creatures, the people of Australia evolved with it to be just as insane. Somehow that insanity somehow managed to get over in Florida too. We don't know why. We're not clear on that, but it happened. I'm just saying, Australians are built different. Would y'all ever date someone with the same name as you? I'm sorry for adding directly to a post, but I went to a wedding once where the groom's name was Lauren and the bride's name was Lauren. And at the end, the officiant was all like introducing Lauren's surname and Lauren's surname, husband and wife, and the entire assembled lost it. Also sorry for adding on, but in my high school, there was a Dominic and a Domunic who were dating and everyone just called him Dom and Dahmer, which is honestly the funniest thing ever. I helped a not-so-nice person cover up their swastika tattoo today. Looking at it now, you'd never know it was there. Pretty well what 6 feet of dirt can do. Being the one in the polycule with a car sometimes means dropping off one girlfriend at her other girlfriend's house, like dropping off a kid for a playdate. And you're the sweet one for doing so. The funniest thing to me about the Folders incest commercial, gosh darn it, every time with the stupid one. Okay, what are we talking about with the incest coffee commercial today? It's that those two characters absolutely did not have to be siblings. The ad would have worked just as well if they were in a long-distance relationship and he came home. I'd argue it would have worked better that way, honestly. Instead, Folders Corporate saw two actors dripping with the most insane, carnal, sexual heat chemistry in the history of visual media and said, yeah, that looks like an average brother and sister duo to me. And that's what Christmas is about, Charlie Brown. I think this is like the third Tumblr post I've read about this stupid coffee incest commercial. It keeps coming up. It's driving me mad. They aren't one after another either. They just keep finding me. My friend just told me the audiobook narrator for Heated Rivalry used to be a Bible professor at our small-town conservative Christian university, and I may never recover from the heights of emotion this news has inspired in me. I've always had a hard time concentrating in his classes because his voice is so damn sexy. Finally he's putting his God-given talents to their rightful work. The Lord works in mysterious ways and provides to many. Imagine if people still took last names of their trade like Fisher, Smith, Fletcher. Imagine some guy introducing himself to you as Jonathan Podcaster. It's him. Ted Talker. Time heals all wounds. Wrong. Time is chasing me with a knife. Notes, this may be garbage, but at least I didn't use AI. My daily affirmation as an author. Honestly fair. I've used that a lot when recording these, okay? Honestly when recording, not so much. When editing, though, I have to use this constantly. I should get this framed. Okay, a fully grown adult commented on that Reddit post of, my cat got upset when my girlfriend spanked me, with, maybe you weirdos shouldn't be physically harming your partners, and I'm losing my mind. The first time my cat saw me getting smacked around during sex, he did not defend me, but instead jumped on the bed and slapped me in the face so he could be on the winning team. Okay, first of all, how dare you make me laugh while having pneumonia? Hey, Mr. Cookie Clicker, did you make the grandmas so dommy-nommy on purpose, or was it unintentional? Because either way, I want them to beat me with their rolling pins like a cookie. Okay, I think you should be hunted, not out of sport, but out of duty. Accuracy of horror movie titles. Scream, 10 out of 10. They sure did. Get Out, 10 out of 10. He sure did. A Quiet Place, 10 out of 10. It sure is. I'm about to see The Thing for the first time, and I promise that by the time I leave the theater, I will have a better name for this creature. Damn, nope, they were right. That stuff was a thing. Okay, let's be real. In a time before the internet, people didn't have more adventures and make more meaningful connections. They watched TV and listened to CDs. Before that, they listened to records and read magazines. Before that, they listened to the radio and read bad dime novels. Before that, they were inebriated or some stuff. People have been staying inside ignoring other people as long as there have been buildings. The difference is nowadays because of the internet. People are expected to be talked to at a moment's notice no matter where they are. And because of that, people are very, very aware when you aren't doing anything and aren't talking to people. This is kind of erasure of privacy in general that social media has caused. It's weird because it's not even anyone's fault. It's just a natural consequence of a more connected world. That now that we're more connected, we know more about each other. We can find the more crazy stuff, and that crazy stuff rises to the top because it's interesting to see how crazy this stuff gets. Bad news, everyone. I have a take. I don't know, I think it's just kind of weird that giant invisible hand grabs me from the back of the neck like a kid and starts lifting me away. God damn it, not again. Me Plaza. Okay, my brain went straight to Smash Bros, but it's kind of ironic it's still Nintendo, right? Some birds are intuitively named. Looked up a sparrow going chirp 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 in my yard, and it was a chirping sparrow. Saw a blackbird with red wings. It was a red-winged blackbird. Gray birds that sound like a cat. Gray catbird. The first time I saw a house flinch, it was perched on a windowsill. However, some birds are the red-bellied woodpecker. Hold on, I gotta Google something real quick. Who named this bird? Hold on. Okay, I see it. It's not really bellied so much as his groin, but it's still red. Oh, in a bunch of these photos you couldn't see the bottom part, so it just looks white, so... I mean, I wouldn't call it bellied myself, but you're totally wrong. Oh no, I see it. These researchers published a paper on something that literally any of us could have told you. Okay, well, my supervisor won't let me write something in my thesis unless I can back it up with a citation. So maybe it's a good thing that they're amplifying your voice to the scientific community in a way that prevents people from writing off your experiences as anecdotal evidence. They did the research in the first place because they believed you and wanted to tell people about it. They're not your enemies. Okay, so I'm of two minds of this myself, right? First of all, these papers do actually provide solid proof. And they make it easier to show, yeah, this is what I believe. And like said in here, good for citations and whatnot. That's great. Having something concrete and written down, A-okay with that. The second is that there was a time at some point in history when everyone believed that the sun rotated around the earth. That was commonly accepted. Just because we all think it doesn't make it true. Research papers like this do. And because of that, it's very important that we do run these tests, just to be sure. Because what if we are wrong? Dr. Lewis saved my life. Honestly don't know how to earn that 5th star. Learn to draw Rouge the Bat wider than she is tall, with tits to match. Duh. Okay, men need to be androgynous little rock promiscuous people again. Hair gel and cheap black nail polish are still sold in stores. Chop chop! I forgot music existed for a second and thought rock promiscuous people meant really promiscuous geologists. I mean, if everyone dresses as a promiscuous geologist, I'll be pretty happy with that too. I've been super tired. A nap will help me. Actually, you are tired because you haven't eaten for a day and a half. I'm conserving energy. Put food in me to wake up. Silly body. Food is cure for hunger. Nap is cure for tired. I'll take a nap and then I'll feel better. No, you are feeling hunger. Feel that signal I'm sending you? Hunger. Put food in me, please. I'm too sleepy to think much about hunger. I'll take a nap. Is it too late to swap? I want to be someone else's body. A cup of tea will make me feel better. Please learn the difference between appetite suppressant and food. I'm the exact opposite. I will pull all-nighters and just eat a bunch of food so that way my body can push forward for longer. Like, both are bad, don't get me wrong here. Either way, balance is key. Please learn how to listen to what your body needs, but also recognize that your body can very easily be tricked. Especially in modern society when it's just really easy to have access to all the basic survival stuff.